Richard, what's happening, brother?
How you doing? Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Sorry I'm late. I just got off of calf duty. There's my clerk. Say
How you doing?
hi.
Come on down to Rhode Island.
He's busy enough here. How you guys doing today?
We're good. A little busy, but good.
Doing good.
You remember how out of control the open PO list was when you were here?
Yeah,
It's down to 6 pages, brother.
6 pages.
Eric
Yeah.
Royster.
Has joined the meeting.
We got a bigger center than you, and we only have 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Guess I got some catching up to do.
Yeah, we generally have
Yeah, definitely.
3
The
or 4
one you
POs
adjusted. Yeah, no problem.
Who is that?
That's Curtis Carlson coming on.
Oh, Eric. There's Eric. Takes a little time. So I invited Eric.
How you doing, sir?
I'm hoping Eric will jump right in if I make a mistake or say something wrong.
I'm sure you'll be fine, Rick. You've been doing this for a while now.
All right, man.
So,
All right, thanks, Andre.
so I didn't really prepare a presentation or anything. I figured this would just be an open discussion about what you're doing. You're doing excess with what is it, $100 value is what you're doing right now, right?
Under dollar is where I'd like to start. It's pretty simple.
Okay, and I'm assuming that the previous property manager did not leave you in $100 list, right?
I do not have an under dollar list that I know of.
On $100 value, does he need to notify Department of Labor on that?
Yes, absolutely. There needs to be a SF-120, the same process you would do for reportable property, but also you want to make sure that that property is not in EPMS. So do we know whether or not it's in EPMS?
Yeah.
I know for a fact what we're talking about is not in EPMS.
Okay,
It's some old office
Yeah,
chairs.
so if you have $100 value stuff that's not, you're sure it's not in EPMS, and you want to just double check and triple check if you need to.
I will.
And once you've become certain that it's not in EPMS,
Yep.
you'll go ahead and do the SF-120, and I'll jump into one of those and go over quickly how you fill that out.
Okay.
But as far as the list, because you have to send a list with it, what you'll have to do is either use a Microsoft Word file or a Microsoft Access or Excel spreadsheet and list
Okay.
all those items in that list. And that
Okay.
list has to be sent with the SF-120.
Okay.
If you do not have an $100 value list, you may have to resort to going online and looking up the current value of all the stuff that you're accessing.
Okay.
Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have an office chair, you might have to go online and find a similar office chair or the same one if you possibly can, and get the retail price for that and
Okay.
put that in the list.
It's
Because
it's the
Department of
current
Labor,
retail price.
yeah, Department of Labor is going to want to know. Department of Labor will want to know how much money they're accessing.
Okay.
Okay.
Does the SF-120 tell me to do this stuff?
Not really. There is a checklist, I believe, that goes along with this.
Okay.
I may have a copy of it. I think I sent you a little cheat sheet, I believe.
You did. You sent me a packet.
Yeah, a little cheat sheet that I gave you.
Yep.
It says print the master property report,
Yep.
which if you're doing non EPMS stuff, it's going to be like an $100 value list that
Okay.
you have, and you're going to want to start one of those as soon as you can, and start keeping track of everything that you have that's under $100. Any PRLs that come in that are not equipment, you're going to put them in the the $100 list, And what I had to do in New Hampshire is I had to take the time to go through every location and make a list of everything in that room and put it into the EPMS list.
You know, I'm thinking this.
Not an EPMS. I keep saying EPM, in the $100 list.
Right.
Okay. That took me a year. So it's going to take a while to do that.
Okay.
So I would look around as much as you can to see if the previous property manager or property officer left you a list somewhere. It may be a hard copy, or it may be something that he left online, hopefully. That's much easier to work with.
I'll
Okay,
keep looking. Yep.
so let me see if I can get into the shared drive and show you an SF-120, how to fill one out and all of that stuff. I'm gonna go into Citrix. Let me see if I can remember. I just gotta get the web page for. So on the Citrix receiver, there we go. Right there. Remember me, put this password in. Okay, verify. 962. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so I'm gonna show you two accesses I did. One is exclusively computers. Whenever you do computers, you probably want to do it separately because there's an added step that you have to do. That's going to
Okay.
involve your IT manager. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll start with a regular one. And you get to see all the crap I get in my shared folder. Okay, so access history, is that where it is? Okay, so which one is this? All right. So this is the SF-120 that I filled out for this one. Okay, let me go to page width. Okay. And I'm gonna move this down here. Okay, so this one here is actually, that's not the computers, okay. So the way you fill this out, you have to get your center code, which is gonna be this first 6-digit part of the number. And your F&A director probably can tell you what that is, or Mr. Royster can tell you what that is, okay? For the last 4 digits, what that is the Julian date that you do this report. Okay,
Okay. Yep.
and then you're gonna fill out the date of the report and the total cost. That's gonna be the total cost of all the items that you're accessing,
Okay.
okay? And I believe you guys are the same region as we are. So this top part, Department of Labor Regional Office, JFK Building, are they the same region, Eric?
Yes, Rick, you're both in the same region.
Okay, so that first block will be the same for you. The
Okay.
next block is going to be your center. And then
Right.
over on the right side is going to be your center director.
Right.
And your center director will sign here when you're done. And then the next block down is going to be your information. Okay.
Yep.
And then what you're going to do is a condition, if you're doing excess to get rid of damaged, old, worn out stuff that's no good anymore, not usable, the condition is going to be S. S stands for salvage. Now you can look up the different codes, condition codes. They
Yep.
are in the SOPs, I believe.
Yep.
S is the only one I believe that uses a letter. The rest of them are like 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Very
So
good.
one real quick thing, Rick.
Yeah.
The S for condition code, that actually stands for scrap. So we want to make sure
Oh,
that
okay,
the salvage,
scrap.
I think they're going to want us to try to reuse it at some point.
Yeah, salvage I think is 4, if I remember right. I don't remember the codes offhand. I always have to look it up. Okay. And you don't have to list every item on this report. What you're going to do is put it unit as a lot. So you got one lot, and then your EPMS master list for the excess location. That's going to be your individualized list for the items that you're accessing. And I'll show you that in just a minute. So you're going to put the total cost of everything on that list is going to go on here. And it
Okay.
also goes down on the bottom of the list. Down
Right.
here. So that's pretty much all you have to do for this form. It's fairly simple. Once you get everything filled out, you get your center director to sign it. Once you get all the forms filled out, you're going to scan them all into one PDF form. And that's going to get sent off to the Department of Labor. Okay, so this is the master property report from EPMS of all the stuff that I accessed.
So
Now,
when you said the Department of Labor, you mean Chris Brown?
right.
Okay.
Okay. So in this particular case, I accessed. This was a pretty big excess. This was 3 pages. Okay.
Yep.
So down on the bottom of the last page, it'll have the total property cost and the number of items
Okay.
listed there. Okay. And that's you're going to print right from EPMS.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you got everything that you want to access is in there. And once you put everything into the location in EPMS, you want to make sure that you get pictures of everything.
Right.
And I believe that's this file. So what you need is the picture. Now this is a little more than what is required. What the Department of Labor wants is the picture of the serial numbers.
Right.
Okay. And on some occasions, there is no serial number to take a picture of. It may have been damaged or torn off, or for some reason it's unreadable. In that case, you'll take a picture of the property ID tag and a picture of the unit itself. But just to cover myself, I take pictures of all 3.
Yeah, I would do the same.
And then I have everything that's needed for the excess. So you can see all the stuff that I've accessed. And this is multi-pages. Now this excess also had a couple of items that were not in EPMS, like this fan here. So before I actually sent that out to Department of Labor, I took that out. So that's actually still here, and that's gonna be going in my next excess.
Okay.
You don't want to mix $100 and equipment together. That just gets too confusing.
So it's all of one type.
Yeah, you want to either stick to all $100 or all equipment or all computers. I would strongly recommend always doing your computers separately. You can throw the monitors and other stuff in with the rest of the equipment, but the computers themselves, the hard drive has to be wiped by your IT manager.
Yep.
Okay, let me see if I can find that. I believe it's this one here. Okay, so yeah, this is the 155. Now this was a big list of computers, so I had two 155s to do. The 155 is required for all computers. Okay, and this is the copy I printed before actually signing it. So what this has is the equipment ID number, has a serial number of the computer itself, and all of those computers are listed. And then this has to be signed by you and by the IT manager. And the IT manager will be the certifying officer.
Okay.
Okay, and you're the property official. Okay.
Yep.
You also will have to get, let me open this one that's complete. Because once you get everything ready, you're gonna wanna send out for a quote from the company that's gonna pick the stuff up from you. And then once you get the quote back on that, you're gonna put in a EPR, purchase request. And then when you get the PO for that, then you can schedule for that company to come and get the stuff. Okay, so this is a complete let's see. I got a page width. It's a page width. Okay, so you get your cover letter. It's going to be like this. And this is going to be the cover letter that's for your excess. And that has to be, so that's where Christopher Brown signs it. Once he signs it and sends it back to you, then you can put everything into a disposition. This is the SF-120 for those computers. That was $17,000 worth of computers that I accessed that day. And those were all scrap. And that was just computers, not monitors, just desktop computers. And I think a couple of laptops. And a couple of hard drives. So what you see down here on the bottom is where the company that picked it up, they have to initial each page or each item that they're picking up to signify that they actually got it. Okay. So once they pick it up, you're going to have them do that when they pick it up. Once they get it, they get a couple of days and they will send you a certificate of destruction, which will be in here. So that's the SF-155 or yeah, the DL-155, which is all signed by me and the or the IT manager. And this is the purchase order for the pickup of the excess. So they charged us $200 to take that stuff away. And this is the invoice for them picking it up. And then this is a certificate of destruction that you get from the vendor. These guys do a pretty simple one, but it's acceptable, and it passes for what's required. And then you're going to do a certificate of abandonment or destruction for the center, and you're going to fill this out just like this. And then you're gonna sign it and your center director is gonna sign it. Okay, and then you attach all your serial numbers for all your items. Okay,
Yep.
and then this all gets sent to the Department of Labor, and you also want to send a copy to Eric. Okay, and once you get the approval on this, then you go into EPMS. You put all of that stuff in disposition with the SF-120 number. Actually, I think you can do that before you actually send it to Department of Labor, can't you? Or can you? Probably a better bet to wait till you get the approval from the Department of Labor and then put it into disposition.
Right. Yep. That would be the final step. You want to get the letter first before you move it, because they're going to want to see. They're going to actually want to see a certificate of abandonment before they move it in EPMS, so before they take it out of EPMS.
Right. Okay, so before you actually access it, get it picked up, you need to get most of this paperwork filled out,
Mm-hmm.
with the exception of the PO for the pickup for this stuff.
Okay.
You gotta get the SF-120 and the 155 if you're doing computers. And the master property list. All of that's gonna be put together into a PDF file and sent to the Department of Labor first. Okay, and then that's what they're gonna approve. And they're gonna send it back to you saying it's okay to access all of this stuff. Okay,
Okay.
once that's done, that's when you can put in the PO for the pickup of the stuff. All right, so once you get this approval, then you put everything into disposition. You do your certificates of destruction and all of that stuff once everything is picked up. Once everything's picked up and your certificates are all done, then you scan that all back into another PDF file, and that's going to be sent back to the Department of Labor again. And that's their signal to go into EPMS and take them out of disposition, and they will disappear from your inventory at that point.
Okay.
I think that covers it. You must have some questions, I'm sure.
I do. In the case here, I'm gonna have to go out and look at those chairs and try to find a manufacturer's tag to see what make they are. And
Hold on 1 minute, Mike.
So, Mike, I really wouldn't spend a lot of time doing that. Just find something comparable to that, just so we can get a estimate or ballpark figure to the value of the chair. So we don't want to spend all day trying to research the original cost. We just want to be as close, like I said, in the ballpark figure, something similar to that item.
just find something on Google.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Good to know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with just a couple of chairs and work my way through.
And deliveries coming in and everything, so
All right, so at
sorry
some
about
point,
that,
At some point, either today or early tomorrow, I will get the SF-120 done for a couple of chairs. Send it to both of you, and we'll go from there.
Okay,
Thank you very much for this.
All right.
Any other I mean, I had a whole bunch of interruptions, but
No,
any other questions you got?
I don't have any, no.
That's it's pretty good explanation. I think I'm okay to start this.
Okay,
So thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
yeah, no problem. And I talked to Mr. Dalton about the possibility of going down there to do a little bit more training with you. So that's between your center director and my center director.
That would be
So,
wonderful.
they'll have to hash that out.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
All right,
Okay.
Thank
Have a
you.
good afternoon.
All right, thanks for showing up.
All
Eric.
right, guys, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for doing it.